Good afternoon, it's Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and I am really excited to go over with you all today my speculation video on the final OP08 leader not confirmed yet. We have all the other leaders confirmed as of this week. We just have one leader left standing. And based on what we know so far of OP08 and all the current knowledge we had developed and the card game in general, I think I have a pretty good idea what that leader is going to be. Now, I have three choices of what the leader could be, but I have a definitive, confirmed, this is going to be that leader. So, before I go into my speculations, I do want to go over, what we know so far of OP08, and then just, once I have all the pieces in front of you, tell you my three speculations. So, you can already kind of tell by the thumbnail of what two of them are going to be because they're on the thumbnail. So let's get straight into this. So what do we know about OP08? Well, first things first, we know every color that's getting supported so far. We know that Purple Black King is going to be supporting black cards, meaning the new Ammo Beast Pirate cards will not be supporting the previous Ammo Beast Pirate leaders, but instead will be in the black aspect. Thus, they'll be supporting the new leader himself being King, Purple Black King. And we know this for sure because today, as of this morning, we have a Queen Searcher for the Ammo Beast Pirate cards, and he is a black color. Thus, all his support will be black. Thus, he will be the black support of this set, which is pretty interesting. There's some Zeph ideas going on, but that's just all speculation. That's not really part of this video. Next, of course, we have Blue Red Marco, and he is doing the same thing that King is, where we're getting new Whitebeard cards, but none of those Whitebeard cards are supporting the old leaders. Old Whitebeard and Old Ace are not getting support in this set when it comes to the new Whitebeard Pirate cards, because all the Whitebeard Pirate cards for Blue Red Marco are going to be blue aspects. So basically, all this new blue support will be Whitebeard Pirate themed. Thus, the only leaders that will be getting boosted are blue leaders that are generic. Also, Blue Yellow Ace that comes out in the Three Brothers structure deck, and of course, Blue Red Marco himself, which makes sense and is very fitting. We already got confirmed that Carrot is mono green, so she'll be all the green support, which makes sense because the Minks are primarily green colors. That leaves Tony Chopper, who is green red. That makes sense that he is going to be the red aspect, thus, because he is green red. He can't be green as well because, again, we already have a mono green leader in the set, thus, it's going to be a green red, and he will be red cards for Tony Chopper, which, yay, another set where red doesn't really get good cards because it's locked into a bad leader. Just like in OP06, we had the Go Kingdom cards. Now we have the Drum Island cards that are going to be red locked. So, yay. And then, of course, we have Pudding, who's absolutely insane, and she is purple-yellow. And I have a feeling that based on all our trends, that her color support will be purple, even though she is a Big Mom Pirate. And the reason why is, like I said earlier, they're trying to give new support for existing typings, but they're switching the color around so that older leaders don't have access to these cards. So they don't want you playing the new Big Mom Pirate cards with Katakuri, with Big Moms. Instead, they want you to play with Pudding. So all the new Big Mom Pirate cards are 99% confirmed to be purple, which is really exciting. And based on all that I just told you, that leaves the last color being yellow. That means yellow is the last leader to yet be revealed. So it doesn't matter if they're mono yellow, if they're yellow green, yellow red, yellow whatever, they're going to be yellow something. So look forward to that. Let's actually continue this. So we know the leader is going to be yellow. What else do we know about this set? Well, we know it's the Two Legends set. We have the Wings of the Pirate King, that was OP06. And of course, OP07 is the future set. And now we are in OP08, and these are two legends. And on the cover, we have Silver's Rayleigh and Whitebeard. We already know Whitebeard is not a leader in this set because Marco is the leader of this set. Most likely, the cards depicted on the card art are going to be two characters that support the retrospective decks, being that Whitebeard is probably going to be a blue card that we have not seen yet, and he's going to be like a super rare that's like the boss monster for the blue-red Marco. So look forward to that. As for the Silver's Rayleigh, most likely that is going to be a character that's supporting the leader that we don't know of yet. And now here comes the speculation. What leader would exist that you would base Silver's Rayleigh as a support card for that leader? What I mean by that is, if, for example, the Foxy Pirates. Foxy was the leader, thus we were introduced to all the new Foxy cards, meaning, hey, this leader was introduced, thus we have access to the Foxy Pirate cards. So now we need to speculate what leader would give us Silver's Rayleigh as a support character for that leader. Well, there's only three options that I could personally think of. Those being Silver's Rayleigh, Monkey D. Luffy, and what my personal pet peeve, not pet peeve, personal pet favorite, I really want this to be, but I don't think it is, Goldie Roger. All three of these leaders have the potential to be in this set. And I'm going to talk about what I think they would be if they were in this set and what colors they would be with the yellow aspect. And we'll go from there. So let's get the big elephant out of the room, Goldie Roger. Goldie Roger is a non-leader that we don't have in this set. And he is usually depicted with Whitebeard when they talk about two old legends. When you say the legends of the One Piece world, it is Goldie Roger and Whitebeard. Now, the only thing going against that is that you think if Goldie Roger is in this set and he is the leader of this set, then he would be on the card art because he's not on the box. We have no idea who it's going to be. You think he'd be on there. Now, again, I already explained that basically the card art on the box never actually shows the leaders themselves. It always shows characters you get to play as. Thus, there's not a guarantee that just because Silver's Rayleigh is depicted with Whitebeard, that this is not going to be a Goldie Roger set. Now, if it is going to be Goldie Roger, I think there's only two colors that make sense for him. He's either going to be mono yellow, so he's a pure yellow leader, which makes sense because he's Goldie Roger, and we already have a mono green leader, thus mono yellow makes sense. Or this leader is going to be yellow red. Now, I know we already got in literally two yellow-red leaders, that being Bello Betty, and, of course, the Three Brothers structure deck being red-yellow Sabo. But I think it makes sense for Gold Roger to be red-yellow. If you know his personality that we know so far, at least based on all the available information we have in the anime and in the manga, we know he's a lot like Luffy, that he likes to jump into fights, he's very boisterous, and he's very aggro. Well, red and yellow are the two most aggro colors in this game. Thus, it makes sense that if he's not going to be a mono-yellow leader, he'll be red-yellow. Thus, you would mix them together. Makes sense to me. Not to mention, Ace is a 10-drop in the previous set in OP07, and he is yellow. So it only makes sense I could play his own son in his color. Thus, it makes sense that Goldie Roger would be a yellow color of some kind. Let's talk about the other possibilities. Monkey D. Luffy. Monkey D. Luffy also makes sense because he trained with Silver's Rayleigh. Thus, if Silver's Rayleigh is going to be a character that supports the leader, then Monkey D. Luffy does make sense because we have the 2-year time jump. If you don't know, we are getting a black structure deck that will just be the 2-year time jump, meaning that if we get 2DY support, maybe this will indirectly support that as well, which kind of makes sense, but kind of doesn't because that's a mono black leader and all that support will be black cards. While this leader, if it is going to be Monkey D. Luffy, would be another yellow black, which doesn't make any sense because literally we already have a yellow black Luffy, that being the Three Brothers structure deck, so that doesn't really make any sense. So if it is Monkey D. Luffy, it can't be black. unless it can't really support the 2DY aspect that is coming out in that starter deck. Thus, I really don't think it's going to be Monkey D. Luffy, but he does have relations with Rayleigh because he trained under him. So if any character that isn't Roger or Rayleigh himself, it makes sense that Luffy could possibly be that leader. Not to mention, he is the poster boy of the entire anime and manga. He is the main character. We already have 20 different leaders of Monkey D. Luffy. What's another 21? So that's my idea there. And then finally, what I think most likely is the leader is just Silver's Rayleigh himself. I think if it is Silver's Rayleigh, most likely it's going to be a yellow-green leader. Now, the reason why I say that is because I think it's going to be a Saudi Archipelago themed with basically all the supernovas in yellow form. And the reason why I'm saying supernovas in yellow form is because they'll do the same thing that all the other support decks have been doing, where they're boosting up an existing typing, in this case supernova, but they're making it so that the older leaders don't have access to these cards. Does that make sense? Because Whitebeard doesn't have access to the new Whitebeard cards because they're blue for Marco. Katakuri doesn't have access to the new Big Mom cards because they're purple for Pudding. King and Kaido don't have access to what purple black Kaido has because all his support is black, not purple. I think the same thing's going to happen here where if Silver's Rayleigh is the leader, it's going to be Saudi Archipelago themed cards and the color is going to be yellow-green. And the reason why I say yellow-green is because maybe we're going to get supernovas that are yellow. So we might see a Eustace Captain Kidd in yellow color. We might see a Trafalgar Law in yellow color. We might see the Straw Hats. Well, actually, the Straw Hats are already in yellow because of the, what's it called, Vegapunk deck. So this could just be like Jewelry Bonnie, but a yellow version of her. But you don't play it in Jewelry Bonnie, you play it in Silver's Rayleigh. That's my idea there. I definitely think that Silver's Rayleigh is the most likely leader of this set. He's literally on the cover art. We haven't had access to the Saudi Archipelago cards yet. If you don't know, the Saudi Archipelago is one of my favorite arcs in One Piece. It's where all the Straw Hats get separated before the time jump. And we haven't had that depicted in the card game yet. We just had Thriller Bark in OP06. We had the Germa in Whole Cake Island. We've had the East Blue. We had every arc so far except Saudi Archipelago. So I feel like if we're finally getting a Saudi Archipelago deck, it would be Rayleigh. And it makes sense that in the Saudi Archipelago, we were introduced to the Super Rookies, the Supernova, in that arc. Meaning, it'd be cool to see all the Supernovas, but in a different color. In this case, yellow. And we can see aspects of that going from there. So that's my idea there. I think if it's Silver's Rayleigh the leader, it's going to be, I think it's going to be yellow-green. And if it's Goldie Roger, it's either going to be pure yellow or red-yellow. And if it's Monkey D. Luffy, I would have to say it's probably going to be maybe just mono yellow. I really don't know with Monkey D. Luffy. He's kind of the odd one out. But at the same time, I kind of just want to throw him in there. Because besides Rayleigh and Roger himself, he's the only person in the One Piece story that has a connection to Rayleigh. So if Rayleigh is going to be a supporting character for this leader, it does make sense if Luffy can actually play him because Luffy got trained for 2 years by Rayleigh. So that's my idea there. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't do anything stupid. And I hope you guys liked the video. That's really all I got. I was going to make a big April Fool's like, oh shit, leaks confirmed, Goldie Roger is the leader. But I really didn't feel like faking it to you guys. And honestly, it's a huge possibility that he is the leader. The only knocks against that is that if we got Goldie Roger and OP08, I feel like they would have televised it way more. They would have hyped it up way more. He'll be on the damn cover art, not his protege. Not to mention, I feel like it's a little too early to get Goldie Roger. We don't know enough about him in the current story to have him as a leader. Now, I can say the same thing about Dragon and Blackbeard too, but we already got confirmed that Blackbeard will be in OP09, and we also already got confirmed that Dragon is OP07. So who am I talking about? Maybe Goldie Roger would be OP08, but I don't know. It's called Two Legends too. Like when you think Two Legends, it goes Goldie Roger, who passed and started the Age of Pirates, and then literally like Dolphamingo said, Whitebeard could have became the Pirate King, but instead he stood next to the throne and did not sit upon it. So I feel like if you're gonna be like showing that in the card game, it has to be Goldie Roger, right? But who knows? 99% sure it's Rayleigh. I really wanted to be Roger, and there's like a 10% chance it's Luffy, but no one really wants Luffy to be a leader again. We have like 20 of them at this point. Yeah, that's really all I got. Hope you all enjoy. Don't do anything stupid, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.